Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're going to look at an Elijah Craig small batch. Now, I've already reviewed a small batch and a barrel proof. However, I picked this up. If you've been watching the last two videos, you'll know that I went down to Cheyenne, picked up some bottles there. The reason why I grabbed this small batch is because it is a single barrel select for Town and Country down in Cheyenne. Barrel serial number 5749882, Rickhouse M, floor 6, sitting at 94 proof or 47% ABV. So it's a store pick Elijah Craig small batch, and I kind of went on a spree there when I went to this Town and Country. I picked up Knob Creek single barrel. I picked up this Elijah Craig. I picked up this 1792 full proof. I picked up that Kilchoman Isla Scotch for Wyoming. I picked up, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff that was kind of specific and things that you're not going to find anywhere else because they're store picks. So, you know what? We're going to give this a try and see how it goes. But basically, just an Elijah Craig that happens to be a store pick. Picked this store pick up for... let's see, you gotta find Elijah Craig on the list here. So the normal Elijah Craig that I purchased here in town, and granted I purchased it probably 2 years ago at this point, I paid $22.89 for. I purchased this back in April down in Cheyenne, so that's April of 2022. And I paid $24.99, so $25 for a store pick. And I will have to say that the prices at the Town and Country down in Cheyenne were just in general a couple dollars more than what I pay locally, or at some of the other liquor stores that I frequent in some of the towns around here where I find a little bit better deals on stuff. So there you go, just kind of for a price comparison, $25 for a store pick. Now in the glass, boy, I got probably sounds bad, but I get a little bit of rubber in it. Like latex gloves kind of rubber. I'm guessing that's because I need to warm it up a little bit or something, because I mean, that was the only smell I got. It was kind of faint, and that was it. I couldn't smell anything else. So I'm going to assume that I just need to warm this up a little bit to kind of get it to come out of the glass here. No ethanol in the nose at all. Boy, actually getting that rubber smell quite a bit. Latex. There we go. There's some brown sugar. A little bit of peanut. Now there is some kind of an apple or cherry fruit component to it. Mixed with some caramel. It's almost like dipping apples into caramel. Now this is all very, very way tucked back into this nosing profile. I mean, nothing's really screaming out of the glass at me, but it has a lot of classic bourbon notes, and what I do get when I really just jam my nose in there, I am getting, they're very sweet, light, floral, sugary smelling notes. So let's see what happens on the taste. I would say that they probably did a pretty decent job picking this particular barrel. There is a barrel tannin, a very bitter note that starts in the beginning and moves through the entire flavor profile. It's the first note that I get on the taste, but it subsides to being a secondary undertone, while a sugary sweet brown sugar cherry candy kind of takes over with a bitter undertone. There's some black pepper spice on the end. No real ethanol being in there. The nose is really not changing at all. I wonder, I'm gonna take a couple sips of, take a sip of water there, kind of rinse out, just because lower proof coming off the heels. I mean, literally 2 minutes ago did that Knob Creek, and so I'm wondering if the tannin from the Knob Creek, along with the 120 proof, is over impacting what I'm tasting and smelling here. The nose is still not jumping out of the glass, although it is going more floral. Let's try a second sip here now. Amount of water still on my tongue and stuff is probably going to thin this down in my mouth, but we'll see what happens here. That bitter note is there, but it's that time it got pushed more towards the mid palate, or tending towards the beginning of the finish. It was a lot sweeter up front. There was a nice brown sugar cherry up front, fruit cherry that pushed forward, picked up a little bit of vanilla in there. Then you pick up that bitter note that kind of dominates, along with a little bit of ethanol. And after you get past that, the finish has a little bit of black pepper, that bitter tannin, and actually a really nice sweet caramel that just kind of finishes everything out. And I'd say the sweet caramel is the underpinning, dominated by the black pepper, the ethanol, and the bitter. Third sip just to see if it changes. Third sip did change quite a bit. All the sweet notes and the bitterness is subsiding. So a lot more brown sugar, caramel, a little bit of fruit cherry in there. So it seems like it's evolving to be sweeter and sweeter, and the bitterness is dropping off significantly with each subsequent sip. So it's put together quite well, actually. It's a nice barrel. So I would say it's probably like a B, like a solid B level whiskey. If I were to grade it, for $25, it's actually probably a bargain flavor, bargain whiskey at $25. Excuse me, boy, don't want too many burps on the camera, but hey, we're gonna leave stuff in because you know what, this is life, and I don't really have anything else for content other than the whiskey, and it's just me, so there's no real banter there. So there you go, have that one. But yeah, you know what, it's a pretty decent whiskey. Nothing special, nothing fancy, nothing terrible. Worth $25. So there you go. There's my review of yet another Elijah Craig small batch. Go ahead and look at the last review that I did. If I can find it, I will drop in the description of the video, or maybe I'll link it in the description of the video, what review number that was. And yeah, you can check that one out and see, compare and contrast the two different videos and see what you think. As always, drop in the comments down below what you can find you know what, go ahead and drop down there what you can find a regular Elijah Craig small batch for, and if you have a local store pick, go ahead and drop in the comments what that store pick is as well. One final comment: I know most people who are reviewing Elijah Craig are really big fans of the barrel proof. And so that tends to be when people say Elijah Craig, that might be more of what gets spoke about in the different review channels, and a lot of people are big fans of that. I'd say it's you know, it's just as good. Elijah Craig is probably not my number one bourbon pick. There's actually a lot of distilleries that are not kind of my main goals when it comes to bourbon. You know, like, not that I hate any of them or despise any of them, they're just not what I'm reaching for. And luckily, you know, I got a plethora of options here to reach for, so I can have pretty much anything I want. But I'd say Brown-Forman, anything out of Brown-Forman distilleries is probably going to be my number one pick as far as something that I'm going to be reaching for if I'm just looking for a solid regular bourbon. And then, of course, anything that's finished is definitely something that I'm always interested in, or something that's a little bit different. those are the kind of things that I tend to reach for in the flavor profiles that I like most. But you know what? Go ahead and let me know what you think of Elijah Craig, the small batch, or a store pick if you happen to have an experience with one. As always, check out some of the other videos and my channel on other platforms. Like, comment, subscribe, that sort of thing. Share this out with anybody who you think might be entertained by it or get some information out of it. As always, thanks for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. You guys have yourselves a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video.